Get your domain and website at GoDaddy.com.
Bill's folks just retired.
We've asked our kids to keep an eye on them.
You know, to make sure they're keeping busy.
They're in great shape financially. Every month, they're getting a check, guaranteed.
It's part of Sun Life's Money for Life.
But the kids still want to help. Our son's even offered to do the driving.
Talk to an advisor about Money for Life from Sun Life Financial. Life's brighter under the sun.
The 100th Grey Cup is brought to you by Rona, proud partner of the CFL and its 8 teams.
Take a look at the numbers for Ricky Ray so far. He came into this Grey Cup with the best completion percentage of any quarterback in Grey Cup history that had at least 40 attempts. Great success in the first half, getting the football to number 44, Chad Cackert.
Great field position to start after the 43-yard return by Owens. Long out, there's Cackert pulling it down across midfield and getting some extra yardage, close to a first down for Chad Cackert.
Yeah, you know, it's great to see Doug Flutie and have him here with us in the booth. And when he first walked in at halftime, I said, you know, what are you seeing from Toronto? He said, I'm seeing a perfectly run offense. Take that dump down throw to Chad Cackert like we saw on that first down and get yourself in manageable situations. The quarterback knows, like he said, you don't have to be too proud to just dump it down and let your guys do the work for you.
Doug working with NBC, riding that Notre Dame wave, and would like to say hello to the NBC Sports Network fans watching Chad Cackert shoot up down to the 26-yard line. Eric Fraser, the safety, with the tackle, but it's been a big night for Chad Cackert.
What a hole for Chad Cackert. He not only gets to the second level, but he gets beyond that into the secondary in a heartbeat. Down blocks from Chris Van Zyl, and look at that hole open up for Chad Cackert. Untouched till he gets to the safety.
2 plays, 2 first downs after the Owens kick return. First down, quick hitter into the hands of Dury, who gets away. And it's 3 first downs on 3 plays as Andre Dury steps out.
Andre Dury had some injury issues throughout the season, but had a couple of games where he was over 100 yards receiving. One of them was against the Calgary Stampeders. Does a nice job in the open field here. Make a couple of guys miss, pick up a few extra yards.
Argos were the worst team in the red zone this year at 46.2%. They were 2 for 9. Danny Webb on the sidelines. 2 for 9 against Calgary in the regular season. 2 for 3 in the game, but that one closed down in a hurry. There's Jawan Simpson.
Hello, Jawan Simpson. Here's a middle linebacker who started 32 of the 46 games at Alabama. And if you're starting at Alabama, you're a football player. Watch him step up in that hole unblocked. And Chad Cackert had nowhere to go.
Simpson won a Grey Cup in Montreal 2008 in his rookie year. One of 8 Stampeders returning to try and win another one. Second punch. And they'll screen it to Cackert. Gets a block. Gets outside, and he'll be pushed out just short of the first down. Mark Parento with a block, but he's been shaken up.
Blitz coming off the edge there, Chris, from Keon Raymond, and Ricky Ray retreats long enough to get Chad Cackert out there, and Mark Parento in a lot of discomfort there. Watch how the blitz is going to come from this direction. There's 25. Ricky Ray retreats, gives himself a split second to get it out there, and it looked like Mark Parento just fell on his shoulder. He grabbed that shoulder immediately.
Argos right guard, who came into the game as the only player in this game with a Grey Cup touchdown catch. Remember the catch in 2010?
Yes.
On a short yardage play, 1 yard, but Parento shaken up and will step out.
What if a TV could be more than a TV?
What if it could grant your wishes? What if it could let you look into the future? What if it could make you fly? Could you still call it a TV? Smart Fiera, where smartness meets stunning picture quality. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Imagine athletes from different sports competing for one gold medal. Well, the Hyundai Elantra competed against all types of cars across all different classes, and it won the North American Car of the Year. It's one thing to be top in your class. It's another thing to be top of all classes. Now available in the 5-door GT, the Elantra from Hyundai.
Oh, look, Tim's has grilled paninis now.
Grilled paninis?
Happens all the time.
Introducing Tim Hortons Paninis, grilled to crispy perfection. Choose from delicious varieties like Tuscan chicken, just $5.29. It's time for a hot new lunch.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey. Available now in limited supply at local liquor stores.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Prime Minister Stephen Harper, wife Lorene, interested observers. Former Argo fan, now cheering for the Stampeders.
He was a little torn because he said as a kid, cried in that 71 game, and Argo's losing that game on the fumble, the famous fumble, and now pulling for Calgary in this one.
I took a few games in the 60s pretty hard too. Swayze Waters on to attempt a short field goal and some early movement. He was reflecting back on the 71 game, the Leon McQuay unforgettable fumble.
Procedure, Toronto, number 64. 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
That's Andrew Jones moving. And Joe Theismann was here this week, but he had to leave. He's in Vancouver, strangely enough, the site of that 71 game. And Joe Theismann might have shed a tear or two after that Calgary win in 71. But that's what the Grey Cup's all about, those great memories. You say 71 Grey Cup, you think of Leon McQuay. You say 91 Grey Cup, you think Rocket Ishmael, or the legend of Matt Dunnigan from the ballroom with a broken collarbone to the field for a brilliant Grey Cup winning performance. From 20 yards out, Harris had trouble but got it down. Well, the rookie quarterback just got the pin in for Swayze Waters to add to the lead. And of course, His Excellency, the Governor General, kicking things off. Literally the ceremonial kickoff. Something we're told he practiced, and you could tell for a minute there he was lining up like it was kick for a million.
Great concentration and focus. Well, the entire country has really embraced this Grey Cup and the 100th Grey Cup game, whether it be the loonie, the coin with the Grey Cups on it, the commemorative stamps collection that was put out by Canada Post. They tell us, and it's true, that the demand for tickets for this Grey Cup, that the Argos could have sold this entire dome out twice. Jam-packed, and I have to tell you, Chris, for me, because it brings back great memories of course, one of four. This is the fourth Grey Cup played here in Toronto in the dome. And when that crowd started singing "Oh Canada," jam-packed inside under the roof here, it was, I tell you what, it was hard not to get emotional.
Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And here's Larry Taylor. And Taylor gets away. Cuts back, pass, Waters. Nobody's going to catch him. Larry Taylor 105-yard touchdown. But wait a minute. There's a flag at midfield. So a big chunk of that is going to be negated. It was just what the Stampeders needed, but it's coming back.
Chris, Larry Taylor's been Calgary's best player. On either side of the ball or special teams, it's been Larry Taylor that's been consistent all game.
Holding. Calgary number 25.
Wow.
A 10-yard penalty from where the ball was. First down.
Keon Raymond, one of the vets.
Keon Raymond is right at the point of attack. You see Larry Taylor right behind him, and Raymond going after Black and grabs the outside of the shoulder pad and pulls him towards him, and that's enough to draw the penalty and take a touchdown off the board. Remember, in game one, Larry Taylor, between these two teams this year, had over 400 yards all-purpose.
All the way back to the Calgary 35 after the penalty. Last possession, 9 plays, 81 yards, and flags are flying here as Cornish tries to get outside and is dragged down by Ronald Flemons. And flags in different areas of the field here to sort out after what was a very low penalty first half.
Couple of breaks here for the Toronto Argonauts, Chris. One on that, on the field goal, the first field goal attempt going back that far, hit the goalpost and didn't go through, but there was a procedure call and no play, so the Argos got another shot at it and made it. And then the penalty, taking the Larry Taylor touchdown off the board from Keon Raymond.
John Gott was shaken up again. The center wants a word with one of the officials for a call that may not have been made, but got to the sidelines, and Abi Khan will have to check back in. And Larry Taylor also heads back into the offensive huddle for Calgary.
By the way, the biggest comeback for John Huffnagel's Calgary Stampeders throughout the regular season was a game against Saskatchewan. They were down 17 points and came back and won.
We have too many players, offense, on Calgary. We have a rough play, disqualification on Toronto, number 78. He net 15 yards up, an automatic first down.
So Adriano Belli is done. Disqualified. Belli, who joined the team late in the season, is not going to be able to finish. Guy who missed most of the week because of the flu. Not his first disqualification.
No. And most importantly for Stamps fans, gives them a first down, good field position, and a chance to try and climb back in this football game.
So we'll see what transpired to lead to Belli's ejection. Right now, Calgary first down at their 50. They empty it out. Quick hitter, Lewis in midfield, and quickly taken down. Robert McCune.
There's Adriano Belli right here, and he's working that offensive line. Looks like he just, as he's twisting down, throws John Gott. That's as close as we could find. Maybe he might have had his arm in an armbar or some kind.
I was thinking about the Khalif Mitchell play that led to a suspension against the BC defensive tackle early in the year. Glenn stands in, and that one nearly picked. Devin McCullough in and out of his hands. And so the Calgary drive stalls at midfield.
Crossing route here. Kevin Glenn has lots of time to throw, but he doesn't have a deep route in this play. all intermediate curl routes, but watch his feet, hopping, not really settled in the pocket, hopping. He's got lots of time. Dave Dickinson said before the game that he was wondering about whether or not Kevin Glenn might be a little jittery in his first Grey Cup. He's just not settling in that pocket, had lots of time to stand in there.
Maver will try and pin the Argos deep. Watches this one, and it's a beauty. Owens can't stay in bounds, and his momentum takes him out at the 2. It could not have been a better boot by Rob Maver, 52 yards into the corner.
You've heard coaches many times say when you're on the 20 going in or inside the 20, it's the red zone or the score zone. When you're inside your own 20, it's the win zone. And the importance of a first down or 2 coming out of your own zone like this, crucial for the Argos here, or else Maver just gave the Calgary Stampeders a bunch of momentum heading into the 4th.
And for Rick Campbell's defense, now's the time.
Absolutely. They got to get this 2 and out. Force Scott Milanovic into having to make the decision as to not to either give up the safety and the 2 points or try and punt it out and give Calgary excellent field position.
So Ricky Ray from his end zone, looking for Maurice Mann, and that's a money throw, and they're saying he did not have control of it. Looked like Mann made the catch, but either lost it on the sidelines or didn't get the foot down.
First of all, the placement of the ball from Ricky Ray, just absolutely incredible. But let's take a look if Maurice Mann does maintain possession here and whether or not he's out of bounds. Looks like he got, no, he doesn't. He didn't get his foot down, knee on the white stripe, and away you go. Good call by the official. Big down here.
Well, that almost looked like he may have got a sliding foot in. Go to the sidelines again, and Mann stretches out, and they're going to rule that incomplete.
You know, we had another look, and we should go back and take one more look at that Maurice Mann on the corner on first down, because it looked pretty clear that his knee was on the white stripe, but did he get that toe in?
Looked like he may have dragged the toe on the initial play. Instead, it's the second 2 and out of the game for the Argos. And now does Scott Milanovic give up the safety, or does he turn Prefontaine loose?
Well, that deep, I think you got to give up 2. Yeah.
And he will, with Larry Taylor waiting at the 45. Jeff Heck in pursuit to Prefontaine, and it is 2 on the board for the Stampeders. And now 27-11. So the safety conceded, and the Stampeders with the football when we come back.
Last year, at Intact Insurance, we helped thousands of Canadians restore their damaged homes. But what really matters to us is helping people like Richard, who can now get back to building his kitchen art collection. Enjoy your latest family masterpiece, Richard. You're back. Your home, your auto, your business. Ask your broker about Intact Insurance Company. Intact Insurance, you're back.
I'm the Canadian Club chairman. You're welcome.
Every bottle of Canadian Club whiskey is filled with history, but not to worry. History tastes stupendous. You see, when America had this terrible idea called Prohibition, Canada helped the U.S. out.
Canadian Club was the most bootlegged whiskey in the States. And if there's one thing that tastes better than whiskey, it's smuggled whiskey.
For every road trip, every adventure, or just hanging out with friends, there's a snack that's perfect for everyone. Introducing Chicken McBites from McDonald's. Tender, bite-sized pieces of seasoned chicken breast in a home-style breading. The perfect snack, day or night.
Third quarter stats are brought to you by Intact Insurance. Your home, your auto, your business. Intact Insurance, your back.
Well, one thing we know about the Canadian Football League, when you look at the numbers that are starting to get closer, it was pretty much the Argos in the first quarter and in the second, Calgary starting to climb back in the third. And the one thing we know about CFL football, Chris, is that no lead is safe and no lead is comfortable. And it looks like right now, to me, the Calgary Stampeders are starting to chip away here, got a little momentum. Toronto had to give up that safety.
Well, you heard from Doug Flutie talking about patience. It's still 16 points, but you know now they can't settle for field goals. They need touchdowns.
Yeah, they're going to have to start to look at the clock, maybe even get into some hurry-up offense and try and get Kevin Glenn into a bit of a rhythm. And for the Toronto Argonauts, they can't take their foot off the pedal at this point. There's lots of time to play in this game. You know, in the last 3 minutes in the Canadian Football League, we can see 2 or 3 scores. So lots of football to be played.
Calgary may have got a break on that last series. We're going to take another look when it appeared that Maurice Mann got a foot down. There's the toe on the green. So that was a catch taken away, and the end result is safety and right back to Calgary on the ensuing kickoff. Larry Taylor at the 40, and Kevin Glenn's got a chance to develop some Calgary momentum here early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he does. And the change for them in this second half has been to not try and pound Cornish in the middle, but get Cornish out on the edges and have a little more success on first down. Be patient, as we've talked about, and then they'll wait to take their chances. As this clock runs down, they're going to have to push the ball more.
There are Kevin Glenn's numbers, only 15 completions last week, but some big plays against the Lions. They start with John Cornish, and that's been the story of the day. That Argo defense continues to shut them down for the most part.
All Robert McEwen in the middle there.
Cornish's best run, 21 yards in the dying seconds of the first half, but most of his carries have looked like this today.
2 playoff games for Robert McEwen, getting really his first chance to start. Middle linebacker in the defense here in Toronto. 13 tackles in 2 games.
And he started in Calgary camp with Jawan Simpson and Joe Lopendon. They all ended up starters this year in the CFL. Here's Glenn. He's got an open man, and Marquay McDaniel falls down on the play. And looks back at the quarterback as if he wanted that ball a lot earlier.
Well, Marquay McDaniel tried to turn around. He wanted it earlier and out in front of him so he could run underneath it. But I never recommend for a receiver to ever turn around and be that animated and basically call out his quarterback.
So the 5th 2-and-out of the night. Here again, Rob Maver booting it to Chad Owens. From his 23, trying to get outside. Palali leading the way. And slowed up as he crossed the 35-yard line. Argo football, when we come back, a little 90s nostalgia for you. Matt Dunigan, the stuff of legends in 91. Doug Flutie won his first with Calgary in 92. And Mike Pringle took it to Baltimore in 95.
Professionals, we salute you. The ones who take on many roles to get every job done the right way. The professional workhorses. The professional earth movers. The professional power generators. So if you're the type that wants to do everything like a professional, then stop driving an amateur's truck. The GMC Sierra HD. We are professional grade.
Twins. I didn't see them coming. Big surprise. I have obligations. Cute obligations, but obligations. As an investor, you make plans, but sometimes life throws you a wrench. I need a new investment plan. What I really need is sleep.
Every investor is unique. That's why there's iShares. 4 out of 5 Canadian investment advisors make iShares their first choice in ETFs. Learn more at iShares.ca. iShares by BlackRock.
competition. Everywhere. PokerStars.net. We are poker.
Early fourth quarter, let's check back in with Paul LaPolice and the coach's playbook.
The key to this game is an early interception in the game that was returned back for a touchdown. Pacino Horn did a great job, and it allowed Calgary, allowed Toronto to really blow this game open. Take a look here. This is a staple play that Calgary runs. They bring the guy out in the flat, try to widen people. They've got a guy on a clear route to the field. They're trying to get it here to Nick Lewis. As Nick pushes out, I think Kevin just throws a poor ball here, but the best part of this is Pacino Horn must have been watching his film, because he slow plays and lets that vertical guy go past him, and he's in the right position to make a play on the ball. He gets up. As we flip this angle here, he gets up and runs it right in for the touchdown, and again blows the game open early in the first.
Now the Argos trying to put it away. Chad Cackard off the right side and up to the 44-yard line on that first down run.
Boy, he's been the workhorse for this Argo offense, rushing 12 for 78 before that 6-yard run, so he's over 80 now. And through the air, he's got 8 for 62, so over 100 yards of production for Chad Cackard. The one guy that Ricky Ray has not been able to get the football to offensively has been the MOP from 2012.
I'm guessing that's the family from Southern California. He said Dad'd be dressed up somehow. He might even dress up as Jason of the Argonauts. That ball batted down. A big knockdown by Anwar Stewart, who seems to have an annual invitation. And there are the Cackard family celebrating.
Ricky Ray has gone to Chad Cackard in a bunch of different ways, whether it be in that short passing game, high percentage throws. He's coming across the middle out of the backfield. They pounded him in the middle. They've got him outside on the edge. Over 100 yards of offense for Chad Cackard.
You know, the decision to release Corey Boyd was so controversial. There were season ticket holders who wrote letters to President Chris Rudge upset, and the last thing the Argos want to do is upset the season ticket holders they do have, but that decision, as gutsy as it looked at the time, has been spot on.
Yeah, you know what? It was a gutsy call by Scott Milenovich, but what he knew coming out of camp is what Chad Cackard's teammates knew as well, especially their offensive line, is that Chad Cackard fit this offense better than Corey Boyd did. And it takes nothing away from Corey Boyd. He's a great football player for this organization for a couple years, a 1,000-yard rusher, but he was the focal point. And Scott Milenovich said this year the focal point of our offense will be Ricky Ray.
Argos have won 4 consecutive games to get in here. They've won 4 consecutive Grey Cup appearances. With the lead here in the fourth quarter, Larry Taylor trying to flip the field, and away he goes again. Up to the 43-yard line, 17 yards on the return. Well, the 2000s, Ricky Ray won 2 of his first 3 Grey Cups. Dave Dickinson won his second as a BC Lion. And yes, Anthony Calvillo with 3 Grey Cup victories.
Professionals, we salute you. The ones who take on many roles to get every job done the right way. The professional workhorses. The professional earth movers. The professional power generators. So if you're the type that wants to do everything like a professional, then stop driving an amateur's truck. The GMC Sierra HD. We are professional grade.
You have the passports?
Yeah. Where are you off to today? Italy.
Airport.
The new Scotiabank Gold American Express card lets you earn travel rewards up to 4 times faster. You're richer than you think.
We work with Goodyear to develop the Nordic winter tire. And then test it someplace harsher than Canada. To make sure at 60 kilometers, it stops 45 feet shorter on ice than our leading all season. Nice work, Mikko.
Thanks, Gary.
For safe winter driving, Canadian Tire's got it.
Let's get the mood on the sidelines. Here's Sarah Orlesky.
Well, understandably, there's a lot of frustration down here on the Calgary sideline, Chris, in particularly with this offense. Marquay McDaniel, when he came off the field, Kevin Glenn tried to go over and speak to him. Marquay just turned and walked away. Maurice Price spent that entire last possession on the sidelines, fuming, going up and down, yelling at anyone that would listen to him. There was a lot of frustration, a lot of shrugs, rolling of the eyes, and guys just shaking their heads in disbelief at how much they have been struggling so far this game. With more now, let's go to Farhan.
Well, Sarah, the Argos are very much in the moment. There has been no discussion about how close they are to finally tasting from the Grey Cup. They're completely focused on the task at hand. Also, it's pretty clear the Argos D-line believes they have got a run-pass key for the Stamps figured out. Look for Ricky Foley or Kevin Hundley to signal to the linebackers so they can react accordingly.
For the Stampeders, this is foreign territory. Only once this year they've really been out of a football game from start to finish. A convincing BC Lion win early in the season. Nick Lewis stretching out for a first down, but in every other game, they either won or John Hufnagel felt like they had a shot at winning.
And during that break, they got in that huddle, and Kevin Glenn and John Cornish were talking about it's 16 points, man. It's 16 points. It's lots of time to play, and Kevin Glenn has come up off the mat many, many times.
Still a two-possession game, ball near midfield, time for Glenn, and that ball is tipped at the line. Something the Argos have been effective with this season.
And effective on defense in this game, Chris, when they win on first down. And so now they've got Kevin Glenn in second and long. Giro Koali is having the game of his career so far, and guess who gets his hands on this throw from Kevin Glenn? Number 5 from LSU, Giro Koali.
Second and 10. 3 receivers to that far side. They're looking their way deep, and Maurice Price draws a flag. Step for step was Ahmad Carroll, but flags fly, and it's a big gain for Calgary by a penalty.
You know, Ahmad Carroll had some issues with pass interference early in the season. In fact, Scott Milanovic sat him down for a couple of games and experimented with other personnel at his position.
Pass interference, Toronto number 8. It'll be first down at the point of the foul.
Brought him back in, and since he's been inserted back in the lineup, which is about a month ago, he's played very well and avoided the penalty. This is a close one. When I saw it live, it looked like just some hand fighting down the field, and when I look at it in replay, it verifies that.
Now Kevin Glenn takes a shot to the end zone, and it's too long for Nick Lewis. 4th time that Calgary's got a first down by penalty out of the 13 in the game.
Ahmad Carroll is still talking to the officials because he just doesn't believe he was called on that, and I think he has an argument here, Chris. I mean, take a look as they go down the field. You're allowed to hand fight there, so that should be okay as long as he doesn't hold it down for too long. He doesn't. He allows Maurice Price to lift it up again. That's been let go all season long.
Second and 10. Calgary 5 for 16 in second down conversions on the night. Glenn underneath. Catch made, but McDaniel stumbling. And it's short yardage. And now do you leave the offense out, or do you take 3 with still over 10 minutes to go?
I think you take your points. You know, you've got some momentum. You take your points. You got to drive together. Penalty aided drive. But John Hufnagel knows there's lots of time. And Marquay McDaniel, who, as Sarah mentioned on the sideline, didn't even want to talk to Kevin Glenn, is having problems getting his legs underneath him. It's the second time he's stumbled on his own.
Well, you see the remarkable consistency of Rene Paredes. 26 consecutive field goal, and it gets a little tighter.
Professionals, we salute you. The ones who take on many roles to get every job done the right way. The professional workhorses. The professional earth movers. The professional power generators. So if you're the type that wants to do everything like a professional, then stop driving an amateur's truck. The GMC Sierra HD. We are professional grade.
Phil's folks just retired.
We've asked our kids to keep an eye on them.
You know, to make sure they're keeping busy.
They're in great shape financially. Every month, they're getting a check, guaranteed.
It's part of Sun Life's Money for Life.
But the kids still want to help. Our son's even offered to do the driving.
Talk to an advisor about Money for Life from Sun Life Financial. Life's brighter under the sun.
Goodyear, for drivers like these who demand the most from their tires. And everything we've learned making these tires inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven.
The 100th Grey Cup is brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
That's a 13-point lead for the Argonauts. 9:46 remaining.
Just 4 first downs in the second half so far for the Toronto Argonauts. I guess my question to 8 for Calgary for Scott Milenovich would be, is he getting conservative in this second half with the lead? Just 71 yards of offense in the second half. Ricky Ray, some numbers on the board in the first.
Talks about managing the game, being conservative when he has the opportunity. He did that second half after the 31-point explosion in the Eastern semi. Here's Packard, and he gets brought down. Good tackle on the play by Brandon Smith.
In the meantime, give full credit to this Calgary defense. I mean, they're hanging around. They're hanging in there. In the second half, they've stepped up, put Ray in some difficult positions. Rick Campbell, I think he's getting the best out of his secondary that I've seen all year, and that's a young group. 3 of the 5 in their first year in the CFL, basically.
Ricky Ray trying to avoid a third consecutive 2-and-out. Here comes Charleston Hughes. And the throw hurried at the Argo bench, incomplete. So Calgary has forced them into a third consecutive 2-and-out. And now the Stampeders need a big return play or an offensive touchdown on this next drive.
Or maybe when they get the ball back, the Toronto Argonauts can go back and try and find some plays for Chad Owens and see if the most outstanding player in 2012 can start to create himself. A couple of those maybe hit screens on first down could help this Toronto offense. You can see he's getting a little frustrated not seeing the ball much.
Hasn't been the Owens Cornish showdown we anticipated. On a bounce and out, so Taylor can't get his hands on that. Good boot by Prefontaine.
Better second half for Kevin Glenn, although he hasn't seemed as comfortable, nearly as comfortable in this game as he did in the West Final or the West Semifinal against Saskatchewan, but his numbers are starting to accumulate.
Calgary, number 26, while the ball is in the air, will go back 10 yards from when it was caught. First down.
It's another costly special teams penalty, Rob Cote, this time.
Now keep in mind that on that last Calgary series, it was aided by that pass interference down the field. Ahmad Carroll on Maurice Price.
So with the penalty and the Prefontaine boot, 53 yards. And the Stampeders start inside their 20. Glenn running out of time underneath. And a big collision there. Nick Lewis absorbs the hit.
Boy, Chris Jones throwing in some more wrinkles at the most important time and juncture of this football game. I want to show you here Ricky Foley. Watch, the defensive end doesn't blitz on this player, go after the quarterback. He peels off on Larry Taylor, make sure he's covered down, and you got big Kevin Huntley out there covering Nick Lewis in the flat. Just a change up from Chris Jones.
Lewis hits the 100-yard receiving mark. Second time in Grey Cup play for him, and Cornish on second down, and it's not opening up.
That's a big, big series. And it's almost in that zone. Not quite yet, I don't think, for John Hufnagel to think about 3-down football, but we're getting there.
Well, this has been Chris Jones' night so far, hasn't it?
You know what? Those last two defenses were just a great example of what he does so well. So many moving parts. And he has a defensive end cover Larry Taylor. Change things up, get him in second and long. They don't convert the Calgary Stampeders, and the Argos are going to get the ball back in pretty good field position here.
Argos were fined $5,000 for tampering when they signed Chris Jones without permission to talk to him. They turned out to be the best $5,000 they spend this year. Here's Owens. Flag, and it'll be a 15-yard no yards and maybe more as Darius Brooks tosses him out, and Calgary losing its composure. So if both are as they look, this will be some big yardage for the Argos into Calgary territory.
Early in the season, discipline was an issue for John Hufnagel Stamps.
With no yards, Calgary, number 24, it's a 15-yard penalty. We have a major foul, unnecessary roughness, horse collar, Calgary, number 32, it's another 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
Move up 30 yards, first down.
Oh boy, 30 yards of real estate. 15 unnecessary. No yards is hard to avoid. This is easy to avoid. He's out of bounds, let up. Get your defense on the field. Darius Brooks with a poor decision.
Best field position start of the day for the Argos, and here you see it, 10 penalties, 95 yards for Calgary on the night. Catcher's going to try and pound it down. He gets outside. Down to the 15 and pushed out. They'll mark him at the 11-yard line. Chad Cackert over 100 yards rushing.
Boy, we're in the 100th Grey Cup. Talk about some of the great running backs in this league's history. Guys like George Reed, Mike Pringle, and I'll tell you what, if Chad Cackert can put together 5, 7, maybe an 8, 9-year career, we'll be talking about him 10 years from now as one of the greats. He's got that speed, the toughness in the middle, great quickness and vision. He's been their workhorse.
In a position to take a stranglehold. Cackert, big collision there as he pounds to the 7. We showed you that the Grey Cup was on display in one of the end zones, now being transferred down to field level. Mentioned this before in another Grey Cup, but remember veteran Ryan Thelwell telling us about seeing the cup being brought down by the Mounties and how that's the next burst of adrenaline on the sidelines.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting one right here in the booth, Chris. You think about some of the names on...
Not that one.
Not that one. But some of the names on that Grey Cup. Some of the great football players in this game's history.
Second down, they swing it out. There's Andre Dury, and the Toronto guy into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, the local kid, a great
touchdown pass for Ricky Ray. And he gives it to Andre Dury, who, as we mentioned at the start of the show, grew up admiring Pinball Clemens, Rocket Ismail. He's living his dream right now.
Waters adds the extra point. Big block by Mo Man on the touchdown. A couple of those short passes in the score zone. Inman with one, and now Andre Dury, a Grey Cup touchdown.
Well, the sequence of events that have led to this Andre Dury touchdown are interesting with regards to this Toronto football team all year. Chris Jones' defense gets a 2-and-out. The return game creates a couple of penalties, one on a bad decision by Calgary. 30 yards on penalties in the return. Puts Ricky Ray in great field position. Chad Cackard, who's been the workhorse all game long, gets him in the red zone, and Andre Dury finishes the drive. By the way, that's, as I mentioned, Ricky Ray's 8th touchdown pass.
That's getting him into rarefied air, isn't it?
Yes, it is, in Grey Cups. Again, 2-1 in Grey Cups, and he's now 1 from tying Anthony Calvillo on the all-time list.
A guy discarded despite having 2 Grey Cup rings in his resume. And although Eric Tillman takes all the heat for the most controversial trade in CFL history, there were more people in Edmonton that weren't sure Ricky Ray could still get it done. And he's proving them all wrong here tonight.
And when you look at him and his demeanor on the sideline, it has not changed from the moment that he has come out on the football field to start this game. And that's what he has brought, that stability. I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league. We've been saying that for years. Ricky Ray has lots of years left in him. And the future of the Toronto Argonauts looks great, not only for this year, but also the future in the next 4 or 5.
13 touchdown passes in his last 5 games, and that skipped short of the intended target. Incomplete for Calgary. 18 for 30, 231. Not as brilliant number-wise as he's put up in the last couple of months, but more than enough, it would appear, to get the job done in the biggest game he may ever play. Glenn under pressure, and they get him. The Argo defense, which is just as big a story on this day, gets to Kevin Glenn once again.
And it's that time. Kevin Glenn's got to go on 3rd down, and Chris Jones now looking at play to turn the football over in Calgary's territory if he can get one more stop in this series. Ricky Foley gets his hand and turns Kevin Glenn around so he can't escape, grabs that jersey. Again, another local guy, grew up here.
Another York guy.
Absolutely.
Just like Andre Dury. So 3rd and 15, Kevin Glenn trying to buy a new set of downs underneath, complete. Robbie Bryant's going to be short. He's got the catch, but it's a turnover on downs with 3.5 remaining.
Well, these Calgary Stampeders from Marquay McDaniel, they haven't been able to get the ball deep to Robbie Bryant. And I want to show you again, watch Chris Jones. That's Kevin Huntley in the middle of the defense. That's an interior defensive tackle dropping and helping out on a crossing route on Nick Lewis. Taking away one of the more dangerous threats for the Calgary Stampeders all season long. And a different look from Chris Jones. And Robbie Bryant can't get the first down on his own.
Should be the final play before the 3-minute warning. As Ricky Ray will work the clock and work Chad Cackard. So under 3 minutes left with the Argos in control.
lunch? How about mozzarella, la 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 la? Wendy's.
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme. Crisp seasoned chicken, mozzarella, and a rich Parmesan sauce.
Now that's better.
From Gizmo's 1987 112-yard return to the 2012 Grey Cup coin toss, the 100th Grey Cup $1 coin from the Royal Canadian Mint.
At the Coors Light Brewing Company, we are often asked, what makes Coors Light Coors Light? Do we age it cold and fill it cold? Yes, sir. Do we brew it below 0 degrees Celsius? You betcha. Did we come up with a way for your beer to tell you when it's the perfect cold drinking temperature? Absolutely. And would we serve it to you in delicious slow motion? I think we just did. Coors Light. Who wants a cold one?
I used to shop around, but now I bring my vehicle to the experts at Good Wrench Service. They get it right the first time, and they get to know me and my vehicle. Plus, they're quicker than you think.
Get ready for winter driving with Goodyear Ultra Grip winter tires. Installed for $99.95 each. Compared to the competition, that's a deal. Visit goodwrench.ca for more information. Good Wrench Service. Expert service at competitive prices. You have our word on it.
The 100th Grey Cup is brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's congratulates the CFL on the 100th Grey Cup. And by Rona, proud partner of the CFL and its 8 teams.
They're the postseason numbers for Ricky Ray. 254 away from a Grey Cup title, which would be his third.
A completion percentage off the charts. Ricky Ray didn't rack up yards tonight because of his arm on the deep ball. One of the best deep ball throwers in all CFL history. He did it with his composure and patience tonight.
Host team has not won in Toronto since 1952, trying to end a 60-year drought. Cackard, and he springs ahead and gets tossed down by the safety Eric Fraser, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
It wasn't the deep ball for Ricky Ray tonight. Calgary Stampeders took away Ricky Ray's MOP in Chad Owens. He had a quiet night offensively. That's okay for Ricky Ray. He's been there. He's done that. Take away my MOP. I'm going to look elsewhere. He looked at Chad Cackard. He did the heavy lifting in this one.
Najiro Kowali in the backfield now. Two back, second man through is Cackard. And he gets nailed at the line of scrimmage. Well, a couple of Grey Cup wins for Ricky Ray. Lost his first in Edmonton, but came right back the next year in Regina to win. And Anwar Stewart was saying we shut him down for 58 minutes in 2005, but in the last 2 minutes he forced overtime and lit it up in the extra session. Grey Cup record for completions in 2005. 2nd and 9. Cackard will get stuffed this time.
You think about the future of this franchise. Scott Milanovich, before the playoffs began, got a contract extension from the organization. He has brought that offense from Mark Trestman's system that they put together in Montreal with a very similar style quarterback in Anthony Calvillo. And you think of that combination, Scott Milanovich and that offense.
Timeout, Calgary.
And how long Anthony Calvillo has played in Montreal and had so much success at a high level. The future looks bright in Toronto with Ricky Ray at the helm in that offense, that system with Milanovich.
But the rebuild did it right. They found a guy who was a great offensive mind in this game. They got a quarterback, which was obviously a huge piece of the puzzle. They're developing a couple of young guys as well. They got Chris Jones, as good a defensive mind as there is, and he retooled the new blue defense, and it's all come together probably ahead of anybody's schedule. And then there's the old guy, Noel Prefontaine. And he sends this one into the end zone. And Larry Taylor going to have to take a knee. 90 seconds left. And it's now 3-touchdown lead. Our game story brought to you by Mr. Luke. Get top to bottom maintenance and take good care.
Well, Chad Cackard flew under the radar for most of the season, and they'll know him now. 194 yards in the biggest game of the year, and maybe the biggest Grey Cup game in this game's history. Ricky Ray's got a lot of football left in him. He is far from on the tail end of his career.
Under 90 seconds left, and Bo Levi Mitchell, the rookie who has a bright future, in to finish it off, and he guns it over the middle, and Marquay McDaniel's got it in midfield. Big collision there as McDaniel's dropped at the 47. $100 Grey Cups. These are Grey Cup wins by city, which includes the U of T and Balmy Beach in the case of Toronto. Looking for number 23. Bo Levi Mitchell still with the ball, and he hits the deck. With Brandon Isaac, a former Stampeder, bearing down on him.
You know, Kevin Glenn just did not settle in from the very beginning throughout this entire football game. We showed you a couple times where he was jumping and hopping in the pocket. Just did not look comfortable. And when the Argo defense shut down John Cornish and forced him into second and long, he just could not execute that offense at the high level he's done through the playoffs.
Second and 11, and a short hop pass incomplete. Looking for McDaniel. Bo Levi Mitchell, one of those quarterbacks people talk about as perhaps you could build a franchise around in Ottawa. He will be one that they will be evaluating.
Well, and for Ricky Ray and the Toronto Argonauts, this is an organization now with Ray at the helm. Over the next 3, 4, maybe 5 years, they can build and grow quarterbacks behind him. They can start to build their own quarterbacks. Young guys come in, learn from Ricky Ray, and be the next ones.
That's Nick Volpe, who played for the Argos in the Mud Bowl, has been with them for most of the last 60 years. Evan McCullough a tackle as Jabari Arthur has a catch, and the celebration not quite ready to take place.
It's interesting that when Scott Milanovich's Argos won the Eastern Final in Montreal, he was a little upset about the Gatorade bucket. Said, we haven't won anything yet. We've got one more game to go. He's holding them off until this one is in the books completely.
Early movement by the Stampeders. There was an image this week when he was at the coach's press conference with John Huffnagel talking about watching film with his dad, a high school coach, 16mm film on a bedsheet screen, and here he is today on the sidelines getting ready to win his first Grey Cup as a head coach. Twice a Cup winner as an assistant, although he was beaten by John Huffnagel in 2008.
Well, on that, Chris, let's get this call.
Procedure, Calgary number 64. The penalties declined. We'll run the clock.
On that subject, Chris, Scott Milanovich, you consider the last 20 years, it's been 5 first-year head coaches to get to a Grey Cup. John Huffnagel and Mark Trestman in 2008.
Timer.
Kent
Please
Austin.
put 47 seconds on the game clock. 47.
So it's been a brilliant year. We've had so much to celebrate. The 100th Grey Cup Festival has been outstanding, and maybe not the drama everybody had hoped for.
No.
Here tonight in the finale.
Not the close game we thought. It was Austin in 07, Danny Machocha in 05. Scott Milanovich is the 5th.
They reset the clock, and the partisan Argo crowd on their feet. And disrupting with the noise again. Got a ball on the field, so they had to halt things.
Timer. Please put the clock back to 47 seconds. 47.
I think maybe, Chris, the key to the Argos' victory here tonight was a play made back in December.
Mitchell, Robbie Bryant can't make the catch, and Joel Carter unloads on him.
Now down on that Argos sideline, Scott Milanovic, the entire roster get a chance to soak it in a little bit.
Yeah, the emotion you just saw, I think, is starting to settle in on a head coach who doesn't show it very often.
Yeah, and at this point, you start thinking about your high school coach, your family, all the people that sacrifice to get you where you are.
2nd and 10, underneath, it's Matt Walter, the former Calgary Dino, on the losing end of a couple of Vanier Cups, and was hoping to change his luck in this game. And give credit to Jim Barker, moved upstairs, put this together, hired Scott Milanovic, and was responsible for the trade.
170 million houses. That gets some TV time.
Underneath, Price, and he'll dive into the end zone. Touchdown. First catch of the game for Maurice Price, a guy many thought could be a difference maker today.
Well, he had 4 straight games to finish the season, including those 2 playoff games, over 100 yards. But, you know, talking to the Toronto defense all week long, he wasn't a surprise any longer. They knew about number 17 and did a good job on him. Again, though, I think the key was shutting down John Cornish early defensively, and Kevin Glenn never just really settling in, take advantage of the ball down the field.
You know, that defense didn't allow an Anthony Calvillo touchdown pass last week, and well, they shut out Kevin Glenn in this game. Bo Levi Mitchell gets one in garbage time. But Chris Jones' defense has got the job done. Going for 2. Looking again for Price, and he's got it. So 20 seconds left. 13-point lead.
And like we mentioned off the top, look at all the local football players that grew up here in the greater Toronto area, getting a chance to play at home in front of the home fans. And folks, there are a lot of people in this community that absolutely love the Canadian Football League, contrary to some of the reports that we've heard over the last few years. Festival was unbelievable, jam-packed downtown Toronto all week long, and this dome was rocking.
So the short kick team gets set for Calgary. And Mike O'Shea will get his troops ready. Mike Bradwell had to field one last week to clinch it. And there's a guy that could be a head coach in the not too distant future.
There's a couple on that sideline, Chris Jones being one of them. Michael O'Shea, who's actually interviewed for some jobs already. Hey, there's work to be done here in Toronto, there's no question, but from what I saw through Grey Cup week, they're building a nice base.
Two kickers out there. Paredes goes to the far side, jump ball, and there's Bradwell to come down with it for the Argos. That will cue the Gatorade. And Chris Jones is the recipient this time.
And that's the signal from Scott Milanovic for victory formation.
Victory formation, 17 seconds left. And you wonder if we've seen the last Gatorade. Well, there'll be one more need. And then the celebration will be on.
99 through the regular season, the Argos. They beat Calgary twice in the regular season. Scott Milanovic was quick to remind everyone that that didn't mean anything in this game.
The franchise with the most Canadian football titles. And there is Milanovic. The Toronto Argonauts have won the historic 100th. Well, it was described as the perfect storm this week with so much going the right way. And if you're in the host city, it's the perfect finish.
Scott Milanovic during the week was asked what it would mean to him to get his name on the Grey Cup. And he said, what it would mean would be so important for me is to get our players' names on the Grey Cup. This is about our players.
Scott with his wife, 3 daughters, and Farhan Lalji is on the field with the winning quarterback.
Ricky, you talked about an up and down 6 years, and you joked that you want to retire after every season. What does this feel like after all of that?
Oh, man, this is unbelievable. Just the teammates, coaches, everybody just put so much work in this year. And for us to get hot at the end of the year and be able to make this run, you know, in the 100th Grey Cup in front of our home fans is just an awesome feeling.
For you personally, you know, there was so much criticism about the trade, but I know you personally were upset at what happened. I mean, how much of a motivator was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was just an opportunity for me. There's nothing I could do about it. I was coming here to play for, you know, Scott Milanovic. I was excited about that. And, you know, Grey Cup was here. So it's just great to be a part of this team and be one piece of the puzzle.
Talk to me a bit about your performance, not just in this game, but in these playoffs. I mean, the numbers were outstanding, over 72% completions, close to 900 yards. What went right for you in the postseason?
Yeah, you know, we just started playing good football. We got hot at the right time, and, you know, sometimes that's the most important thing is just to be able to play good football at the right time, and we were able to do that.
Congratulations, Ricky. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they turned it around with that win late in the year against Saskatchewan when a playoff berth hadn't been nailed down yet.
Beat the Edmonton Eskimos on the crossover in the semifinal. His former team in what was a emotional game for him, and then went to Montreal and knocked off the Alouettes in the Eastern Final.
How about Chad Kackert today? He's standing by with Farhan.
Chad, the 100th Grey Cup. You guys win. There was a lot of talk over the last couple weeks about how they felt it was destiny for you guys to be here and to win this. Put it into words for me.
I can't. I consider myself somewhat of a wordsmith on my free time, and I can't explain this right now. It really hadn't hit me yet. I was sitting there watching the clock tick. It felt like an hour for that last minute to go away, and we're here, and I can't wait to go celebrate with my boys. This has been one unbelievable journey, and we made it.
How much did you appreciate the faith that they had to put this on you, Ricky Ray going through there, but also, I mean, the job that you did on the ground today?
Just one small part of it, piecing together a team that would come together and appreciate the opportunity we had and really take advantage of it. And you saw our defense do everything they could out there, and our special teams, and the offense did a great job up front.
What does Ricky Ray mean to this team?
Success. We're here, we've accomplished our goal. And we're going to enjoy this for a few months, and then it's next year.
We'll go enjoy it right now. Congratulations, Chad.
Thank you so much.
Chad Kackert, who loves to go on long-distance drives, will be driving in the fast lane. Let's go down, and here's Farhan.
Scott, you're a Grey Cup champion in your first year as a head coach in the 100th Grey Cup. What does that mean?
I'm just so proud of these guys. They stuck with it all year. They kept believing, and we didn't start fast again tonight, but it's how you finish, and the guys finished.
Yeah, and they responded really quickly after that first interception to take the lead. How important was Ricky's poise through all of that?
I think it was very important. Our defense got us going when they turned it over, and Ricky took them down, and we played with the lead the rest of the game. So just got a lot of pride for these guys.
I want to ask you about your defense. There was a lot of controversy about Chris Jones and his arrival here in Toronto, but the game plan was masterful.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job against them 3 times now, and you have to stop Cornish, and for the most part tonight we did that.
You're still in your 30s. You're a young coach. You talked about always wanting to be a coach and the influence your dad had. I mean, what are you thinking about at this moment that you've done this so fast?
I just feel fortunate to be a part of this, and we've worked long and hard for 6 months to get here, and we're gonna enjoy it and have some fun tonight.
Thanks for this. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Consider the new coaching blood that's come into the Canadian Football League in the last few years. Scott Milanovich goes to the top of the list. We've got so many good young coaches, and Scott Milanovich, with his great offensive background, has turned this into a pretty dangerous team as Matt Black celebrates with his family. Another one of those local guys out of Northern Secondary. Farhan Lalji standing by with another GTA product.
Ricky, when you recovered that early fumble, I saw you go up to the top of the Argos bench and you looked at the fans and said, "This is my city." As a local guy to do this, what does it mean?
It means the world to me, man. Like I envision this, you know what I mean? Like when I worked my whole, it's like the moment's like someone that I worked my whole life for, and I sacrificed so much for it. Now that it happened, man, it's just like I didn't know what to do because it's so much bigger than me. And it's like, it's for my team, man, and my family right there. And it's just something that, like, I could have never, 3 years ago, man, is what I signed here for, man. And I don't know. I think I should be feeling more good about myself, man, but I'm just so happy for my team being here, man, and my family. And, all my friends who believed in me when nobody else did. I wasn't doing nothing but my life, man. They stuck by me and believed in me. My best friend growing up, he flew here on his own dime all the way from Winnipeg, man. My girl here from Vancouver, man, and it's just, ain't nothing like this right now for a Toronto boy raised in Canada, man. We dream about the Grey Cup. America's dream about the Super Bowl, man, and we live in our dreams today being with GTA.
And you're the outstanding Canadian in this game, and you've got so many good ones, including the 12 GTA guys. Does that make it mean that much more?
Yeah, what more you want? Like, we won the Grey Cup. I don't even know that y'all Canadian think great, but like, it's like I don't even know what else to say. Like, icing on the cake, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't even know. So.
Ricky Foley, an exceptional game on defense. Now with the anchor of that defense, here's Sarah Orlesky with Chris Jones.
Well, Chris Jones, you didn't speak to the media throughout the week, but now it's our first chance to talk to you here. Was there something extra? Was there something personal in this one for you?
Well, I mean, it was a great game. I mean, anytime you get a chance to play for a Grey Cup championship, especially the 100th, I mean, there's something very special, regardless of who we were playing. So I just feel fortunate to be a part of this group. It's a great group of people. I mean, the coaches, the players, Jim Barker. I mean, it's an amazing group.
You know how much John Cornish means to that Calgary offense. How is it that you were able to shut him down?
Well, all credit goes to the players executing the game plan. They did a good job of stopping him. We had a few keys on their run game, and they executed the game plan.
Put this type of win into perspective for us, just with you coming here in your first year, Ricky Ray, Scott Milanovich's first year as the head coach, and this being the 100th Grey Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, Scott and I are great friends. We live together in Montreal. Everybody knows that. And Jim Barker and I coached together 2 times. And to bring Ricky Ray, who was my nemesis so many years over in Edmonton, throwing corner routes, to have him here and to put all this together in such a short period of time, I mean, it's a credit to, Jim Barker, Scott Milanovich, and our coaching staff and the players. I mean, it's outstanding.
I know you're looking for your family. Go find them. Enjoy this win.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. See y'all next year.
Well, this 100th Grey Cup Festival would have been a huge success without the Argos even being in the big game, but their presence in this performance tonight certainly has put them back in the sports conversation in the market. A big step forward, and they're hoping this is one Grey Cup hangover that might linger a bit.
Well, no question, and they can build on this win. Chris Jones, by the way, John Cornish had just 57 yards rushing in this Grey Cup.
And that is 3 times this year they lined up against Cornish and stopped him under 100 all 3 times. Well, let's head down for the presentations and join Brian Williams.
All right, Chris Cuthbert, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your attention, please. I got to tell you, I have to tell you, this is perfect symmetry. 100 years ago, the University of Toronto rugby football team won the first Grey Cup, and today the Toronto Argonauts have won the 100th Grey Cup. All right. In just a minute, we are going to witness history as the Grey Cup is presented for the 100th time. But first, we have some awards to hand out. Rod.
All right, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Mark Cohan, who will make the presentations to the most outstanding player and the most outstanding Canadian of the 100th Grey Cup.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est maintenant le moment de vous présenter les gagnants des titres de joueurs par excellence et de joueurs canadiens par excellence. Veuillez accueillir pour la présentation le commissaire de la Ligue canadienne, Monsieur Mark Cohan.
The most outstanding player of the 100th Grey Cup from the Toronto Argonauts, number 44, running back, Chad Cackert.
Le joueur par excellence du 100e match de la Coupe Grey, les Argonauts de Toronto, le numéro 44, Chad Cackert.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the 100th Grey Cup train is still rolling, and he's right here, number 44, Chad Cackert. 28 touches for 195 yards in the 100th Grey Cup. Chad, did you ever think something like that was possible 2 years ago when you first put on an Argonaut uniform?
You got to believe in something, right?
Well, we believe in you. You're outstanding. What was the key for you tonight?
Just playing football. I mean, there's a lot going on out here, and it's been a lot to take in. And we've been appreciating every moment. But when it comes down to it, after that kickoff, it's just football. And we got to go out there, and we did what we've been doing all season.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 games, 64 touches, 488 yards, and 3 TDs. Chad Cackert, MOP, in the 100th Grey Cup. Give it up.
And now, the presentation of the most outstanding Canadian for this 100th Grey Cup. From the Toronto Argonauts, number 95, defensive end, Ricky Foley.
Le joueur par excellence canadien du 100e match de la Coupe Grey, le numéro 95, the Argonauts, Ricky Foley.
Toronto, your very own from Curtis, Ontario, Ricky Foley. Tremendous game, 4 tackles, you had a sack, a fumble recovery, and then you're flying down on special teams making it happen. Ricky, you were playing a different system with Chris Jones this year. We're coming off the edge, living in the backfield like we're accustomed to, but you came up big when the team needed the most tonight in the 100th Grey Cup. What was the advantage?
Now, I don't care about all that, man. That's in the past. Everything we went through, man, it made us stronger. I just care. These fans were so supportive, man. Thank you so much, fans. You had us. I'm back the whole time, man. I swear to God, you guys helped us win this game so much, man. They talk about other teams in this CFL, the 13th man. Today, we were the best 13th man in the CFL, baby.
Ricky Foley, your most outstanding Canadian. One more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Mark Cohan, I'm not sure you can verbalize your thoughts at a time like this.
It's been an incredible year. It's pretty simple. All I want to say is thank you to our fans across this country. You're the best fans in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. It has truly been a remarkable season of celebration, a week of celebration here in the Metro Toronto area. We are about to witness history, as I said. The University of Toronto football rugby won the first. The Toronto Argonauts have won the 100th. 99 times the Grey Cup has been presented. It has gone from hand to hand from so many champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about to be presented for the 100th time.
There's the Grey Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this historic moment as Normie Kwong receives the Grey Cup. On behalf of football fans everywhere in Canada, it's a pleasure to present the Grey Cup. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are champions of Canada.
Hamilton 13, Saskatchewan 10.
The Edmonton Eskimos, Grey Cup champions.
One of the most memorable occasions in the history of sport in Canada.
Il me fait plaisir de présenter. It is my pleasure to present the 100th Grey Cup to your hometown Toronto Argonauts.
Celebration is on here in Toronto. The 100th Grey Cup champions, the Toronto Argonauts, and we'll hear more from the winners when we return to Rogers Centre in Toronto.
We're spinning. Wilson, take your hand out of your mouth. That's lunch. Bravo, bravo. Oh, is that lunch? You deserve a little, mozzarella, la, 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 la. Wendy's. Ooh, snowman down. Ooh, you okay, Lucas?
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme. Crisp seasoned chicken, lots of mozzarella, and a rich Parmesan sauce. Making tastes that make the season. That's Wendy's way.
Now that's better.
This season, get a $10 Toys R Us gift card offer when you purchase a kids meal.
What if a TV could be more than a TV?
What if it could grant your wishes? What if it could let you look into the future? What if it could make you fly? Could you still call it a TV? Smart Fiera, where smartness meets stunning picture quality. Panasonic, ideas for life.
You have the passports?
Yeah. Where are you off to today? Italy.
Airport.
The new Scotiabank Gold American Express card lets you earn travel rewards up to 4 times faster. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Take me home for the holidays. Don't wanna go our separate ways. Me without you, without me. Take me home to meet your family. We'll see if they're alright with me, with you.
Stay up. Wake up, Canada.
With you.
It's World Junior time.
AC/DC, live at River Plate. The band's first live album in 20 years. Live at River Plate. Available now.
Some more passionate lovers confess it was love at first sight. But those ready to commit know there was only room in their heart for one true love. Kubota.
Introducing Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve. Freeze overnight. Pair with rich dark chocolate. And savor a taste of celebration.
Mists of Pandaria is epic, stunning, and incredibly fun. PC World calls it the best expansion yet. World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria. Now try it free at warcraft.com. Rated teen.
Picture time on the podium as some of the big guys savor the moment with their families. And I know your name on that cup, it has a special feeling, doesn't it?
Well, so many emotions rushing through you right now for those players for the Toronto Argonauts. They're thinking about their family. They're thinking about their high school coaches. And they're thinking about the great players that went before them whose names are on that cup. Guys like Moon, Parker, Etcheverry, Kroll, Clemens. I mean, some of the toughest players in men you'll ever meet, like Bobby Jurison, Ben Zambiazzi, John Hilton, Angelo Mosca, Wayne Harris. That's the guys that went before you, and all of that emotion is right now what those players are going through, and man, it's a feeling that it's hard to describe.
A number of years from now, we'll say Chad Owen's name's on that cup, and he's standing by with Farhan.
Chad, when you won the MOP, you said it really didn't matter. It was all about this game. Now you've done that. Take us through your emotions here.
Man, just so much emotions, man. So much going through my mind. Defense, man, just played one hell of a game, and we're just so happy and proud of each other. We did it. We set a goal, and we've accomplished the ultimate goal.
For you personally, you scored the early touchdown, but then it seemed Calgary did everything they could to take you away. But did it matter at all?
It didn't matter. This is a team game. You can take me away, Chad Kacker's got you. You can take him away, Andre Dury's got you. We've got so many weapons, and the guys we all stuck together, and everybody made plays when the plays were there to be made.
You've become a very beloved figure here in Toronto. What was it like for you to play in front of a crowd like this? You haven't had that here before.
It's just been amazing. It was amazing. I just want to say thank you to all the fans who came out tonight and supported. We're very happy that we're able to pull this one off for you guys, and it's only going to get better.
Thanks for this, Chad. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris?
Well, it's the Hollywood ending for the Toronto Argonauts, but it doesn't always happen this way, although it is the last 2 years a home team wins. But over the last 62 years, it hasn't happened very often, has it?
Well, you take a look at those last two, though. We've seems to be a trend. 2011, the BC Lions beat Winnipeg. This year, Toronto beats the Calgary Stampeders. Next year, we're in Saskatchewan.
16th Grey Cup victory for the Argos, 2 at home, including this. And with John Hufnagel standing by is Sarah Orleski.
Coach, this Stampeders team had won 13 of their last 15 games coming into today. What happened?
We just didn't play well enough, or especially the first half. That's the first part. We have to tackle better. We have to try to get touchdowns instead of settling for field goals, and too many penalties. So all the things that we were doing pretty good to enable us to win those other games, we didn't do very well today.
One of the things heading into this game that we heard was that with all of the talk about Kevin Glenn and the emotions and everything, did it feel as if he had difficulty getting settled into a rhythm today?
He had a difficult day, especially the start of it, and which Toronto was able to capitalize on. But he got into a rhythm a bit as the game progressed, and then the only thing is we weren't able to punch the ball into the end zone, and that's really hurt us.
Thank you, John.
All right.
Well, the celebration on Chris Jones, such a huge part of it with his family, his 3rd Grey Cup, and the 100th here in Toronto.
Competition everywhere. PokerStars.net. We are poker.
Danger excites me, but I can't fully enjoy it when I smell like fear and body odor, so I prepare myself with a manly scent of Old Spice Danger Zone. Because even if something bad does happen to a Danger Zone man, it won't smell like something bad happened, because the secret to smelling is... And when you smell like Old Spice Danger Zone, trust me, you'll smell like you have nothing to worry about.
You smell like you look amazing.
Amazing, I know.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
On Blu-ray and DVD.
Kane's been involved in some sort of time travel.
What? To save his partner, he must go back in time.
Kay? How do you know my name?
Men in Black 3 on Blu-ray Combo Pack November 30th.
Mixing made easy with Grand Marnier. Step 1, the vibrant orange taste of Grand Marnier. Step 2, ginger ale. Step 3, the finishing touch. The Grand Ginger. Your evening, your style. La Vie Grand Marnier.